Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name is Gretchen, and I am an award-winning crocheter and crochet designer. And it has been frigid cold here lately, and I thought with the temperatures plummeting the way they have, it's probably appropriate to teach you how you can crochet this men's beanie. This is a one size fits most. It is made with acrylic yarn. You can use any kind of acrylic yarn for this, really. I've made these a couple of times with wool, but that's only if someone requests it. So this is made with Caron and Red Heart yarn, the black anyways, and the white, and the blue is Impeccable yarn, I believe by Loops and Thread. So what you'll need for this project is an understanding on how to do a magic ring, a double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and a reverse single crochet. And you can make these in any multitude of colors. This is always a popular combination. It's a really good seller for me. I did one of these in a neutral color. My spouse is from Ohio and an Ohio State alumni, so anything red and gray, he's all for. So he has a hat just like this, and this too has also been a popular combination. So what you're going to need for materials for this project is your combination of your 3 colors of acrylic yarn. You're going to want a 5 1/4 millimeter crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, and a stitch marker. And I always do like to use yarn for my stitch marker. So let's go ahead and we'll begin our project. It takes about an hour to make one of these beanies. I'm going to use gray as my main color because it'll show up a little bit better than the black on this video. And then for my accent colors, I think I'm going to do yellow and blue. So we'll go ahead and start with our magic ring. If you don't know how to do a magic ring, I do have a quick 4-minute tutorial video on how to do a magic ring. I'll put the link to that video in the description, and you can refer to that if you don't know how to make a magic ring. So we'll begin with our magic ring. And we're going to chain 1. And we're going to do 12 double crochets into our ring. Okay, and we'll go ahead and we'll draw that in tight. Okay. And now we're going to begin our increase rounds. And to join these rounds for this beanie, I have found it works out best if you join your round to your first double crochet, and then you chain 2, and then do 2 double crochets into the same stitch. I know some people like to do a chain 3 and have that count as a double crochet. I just found that when I designed this beanie, this brought your rounds in the tightest, the most consistent, and you really have a hard time seeing where each round begins. So I did find that a chain 2 and then going right into your stitch with your 2 double crochets works the best. And we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch around, so that'll be a total of 24 double crochets. Okay. And once again, we're going to join this round by doing a slip stitch into that first double crochet. And we're going to chain 2. And now we're going to do another increase round. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into that same stitch, and we'll do 2 double crochets into the next stitch, 1 into the following stitch, and 2 again into the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that pattern around for a total of 36 double crochets. Okay, and then once again we'll join to that first double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to go right into the same stitch with a double crochet, right into the following stitch with another double crochet, and in the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. And that's how we'll do another increasing round here. So 1 double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets into the following. And we'll do this for a total of 48 double crochets. There we go. And join those rounds again. You see how nicely this just works up? And I just find that if you just do that chain 2 and you go right into the stitch with your double crochet, it kind of closes the gap and makes it just seem like your rounds just keep on continuing without actually doing a joining to the rounds. So this will be our final increase round. So once again, we'll chain 2, and we're going to do a double crochet into the same stitch and a double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochets into the following. So 1 double crochet into the first 3 double crochets, and then 2 in the following. And we'll follow that pattern around until we have a total of 60 double crochets. Okay, so that's going to be the end of our increasing rounds, and for the next 2 rounds we're just simply going to do 1 double crochet into each double crochet. So again, you're going to chain 2 and you're going to go right into that same stitch with your double crochet, and we'll just do 1 double crochet in each double crochet around for this round and then the following round. Okay, and then we'll go on to our final round here for this color, and then we will be able to add our first accent color, and then I can show you how you can join your colors. And when you're making these beanies, you do want them to be as tight on the inside. What I mean by that is when you're joining your colors, you want to make sure that you join them appropriately. Your work should be as neat on the inside as it is on the outside. And there's a way that we can do that, and I'll show you a little trick on how to do that. I'll show you one of the inside on one of the beanies that I have completed here. I love making these. These are like one of my favorite things to make. I love making the wine toads too. I say the wine toads and these men's beanies are probably 2 of my favorites. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to join this color. Whoops. I'm sorry, join this round. And now we're going to do our first accent color. So I'm going to grab yellow here because again, I'm trying to choose colors that are going to show up well in this video. Now, when you're joining your next color, you just want to slip it through that loop right there. Okay, bring that loop down. You're going to do a chain 1. And you want to make sure that this is nice and tight. Okay, both your yellow and your gray. Now, you want to bring both your gray and your yellow yarn off to the side here, right behind your work like this. Now we're going to do a half double crochet into this same stitch, okay? It's your first stitch here. So you join to that loop. We're going to go right into this first stitch here with a half double crochet. You want to make sure that you incorporate your tail end of the yellow and your working strand here of your main color. You want to stitch it to the back of your work because you want this to be all incorporated in here. So let me show you what, by doing this, what it's going to look like. This is when I say it should be nice and tight. So you should have your joining colors here like this. And you don't want to have any like loose ends here. So you really want to make sure that you incorporate these. If you don't, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a long stretch of your yarn here. And that's just going to be, you know, a catalyst to have it get caught on anything, you know, if you're washing in the washing machine or anything at all. So you do want to make sure that you incorporate the tail end of your accent color here and your working yarn here. You want to stitch it to the back of your work on that first stitch. So that way you have this nice, consistent, just tidy strands of yarn here. And you don't have any long inconsistencies here. So just a little trick for you. So let's go ahead. We'll flip this back around. And then I always like to stitch the tail end of my yarn into the back of my work anyways. So I'm just going to continue to do that. And now in each double crochet across, we're going to do a half double crochet. Okay, and again, it's only on that first stitch that you want to stitch your working yarn to the back of that stitch. Okay, so we'll just go ahead along here, doing a half double crochet of your second color here. Okay, and now once again we're going to join this round to our first half double crochet here. Okay, and just as before, we're going to grab our next color, and I'm going to use blue, and again I'm hoping that these colors show up okay on this video. Okay, and now just as before, we're going to join this color just by slipping that through our loop here. Bring that down nice and tight. We're going to do a chain one, and we're going to do a single crochet into this first half double crochet, and just as before, we're going to take both our working strands here. We're going to put it behind our work along with our tail end here of our third color, and we're going to, for this first stitch, we're going to stitch all of these strands of yarn to the back of our work with this first stitch. So we're going to go right into this first half double crochet with a single crochet. Make sure you incorporate all of those strands of yarn to the back of your work on this first stitch. Okay, and now you can go ahead and release those working strands of yarn on your previous colors here. And now in each half double crochet, we're going to do a single crochet. And again, I always like to stitch my tail end to the back of my work. It's perfectly fine to go ahead with your tapestry needle after all of this and weave it in. This is just how my Nana taught me nearly 50 years ago how to take care of my tail end, and after all this time, I'm just not going to change now. So, okay, so one single crochet in each half double crochet. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to join this round to our first single crochet. We'll do a little slip stitch here. And now we're going to go back to our yellow here, or whatever color your second color is. And we're going to go ahead and join that. Bring that down nice and tight. Once again, you're taking both those working strands of yarn and you're putting it right behind your work here. We're going to go right into this first single crochet with a half double crochet. Make sure you get all those strands of yarn back there. we go. And again, you should see like this is just nice and neat. It's nicely woven into the back here. This is not going to get caught on anything. If you, like again, if you didn't do that, you would have where this blue and the gray and the yellow is here, you'd have one long strand of gray coming up, and it would just not look as nice and neat as doing it this way. Okay, so now in each single crochet across, or around rather, we're going to do a half double crochet. Just little tips and tricks. There we go. And we'll join that to our first half double crochet. And now we're going to grab our main color, and we'll do a little slip stitch right here, right through that loop. Bring that in nice and tight. Now on the main color, just as before, we're still going to do that chain 2. All the other rounds we'll just do a chain 1, but we're going to do a chain 2 here. And once again, holding our working yarn behind our work, we'll go right into that first half double crochet, and we'll do our first double crochet. There we go. And then we'll do 1 double crochet in each half double crochet around. And again, remember, you're just incorporating on that first stitch the back of your working strands. You're only going to incorporate that on the first stitch. There we go. We'll go ahead and join this to our first double crochet. Okay. And you can see just how that chain 2 here just kind of closes the gap. If you didn't have that chain 2 there, you would have a huge gap here. So I find that just slipping that chain 2 in there in the beginning just brings it all together nicely. Okay, so now, just as before, we're going to go back to our first accent color here. So for me, that's the yellow. And once again, we'll just do a little slip stitch here. Bring that in nice and tight. Do our chain 1. And once again, holding our working strands of yarn behind our work here, incorporating both those working strands yarn into the back of our first stitch. We're going to go right into that first double crochet, and we're going to do a half double crochet. There you go. Go ahead and drop those 2 working strands of yarn, so you should only be having your first accent color here that you're working with. And we're going to go ahead and do a half double crochet into each double crochet around. There we go. Go ahead and join that to our first half double crochet. go ahead and pick up our next accent color. For me, it's the blue. And you'll just slip that through the loop there, bring it down nice and tight. Do a chain 1. And once again, holding your working strands of yarn behind your work here, we'll go right into that first half double crochet with a single crochet. Incorporate both those strands of yarn on that first stitch only, and then you can go ahead and drop those other 2 strands of yarn, and you can continue along doing a single crochet in each half double crochet around. I love these hats. I love making them. I can make them all day long. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and join this color to our first single crochet, and that's it. We're going to be done with this color, so we can go ahead and finish this off. There we go. And get rid of this. We're done with that one for now. And then we'll go right into that first single crochet just as before. We're going to pick up our yellow, bring it through the stitch, do a chain 1, and once again you're going to put the tail end of the color that you used for your single crochet behind your work and your working yarn of your main color, and right into that first single crochet we're going to do a half double crochet and incorporate both of those strands of yarn in the back of your work. You can go ahead and drop your main color, and then you can either, like I said, you can either weave this in with a tapestry needle when you're done, or stitch it, continue to stitch your tail into the back of your work. And just as common practice for me, I always stitch my tail end to my work, to the back of my work. So I'm just going to go ahead and go along doing that. I hope these colors are not too difficult to see for you. Okay, there we go. And now that's going to complete the use of this color. So we're going to join this to our first half double crochet. And we're going to finish this off. I'll go ahead and cut that and bring that through. Okay, now we're done with this color. Things get a little easier now because now we're only working with one color now and not three all at the same time. So we'll go right ahead into our half double crochet, join our main color, and because we're doing a round of double crochets, we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do 1 double crochet in each half double crochet around. And it's nice when you're making these beanies just to join your colors the way that I showed you here instead of just ending off and then starting a new color, because that just creates a weakness in your beanie. So it's nice just to be consistent. I always try to have, as when you're changing colors, as few times you actually finish off and then start a new color. Okay. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and join this round to our first double crochet. There we go. And now we're going to do a chain one. And now in each double crochet around, we're going to do a single crochet. And we're going to continue doing a single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 5 rounds. So I'm going to go ahead at this point in time and place my stitch marker here. There we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do a single crochet in each double crochet. Okay, so that completes our first round of single crochets. So we're going to do 4 more rounds. We're going to do 1 single crochet in each single crochet around, and this time I'm not going to do a slip stitch and then a chain 1. I'm going to go right into that first single crochet with a single crochet because I don't want you to see where we join here. The top of the hat, it really kind of blends in nicely, but with the double crochets. But on the single crochets, if you just do a joining stitch, it's really noticeable. So I just like going right into that first single crochet with a single crochet. And then I'll go ahead and place my stitch marker. I've made enough of these beanies to determine that comes out the best way. So, okay. So 1 single crochet in each single crochet, and again we're going to do this for 4 more rounds. And so when I sell these in my brick and mortar, as well as any shows that I do, I sell these beanies for $25. I feel feel like that's just a nice price. It doesn't take a whole lot of material. It doesn't, you know, take a whole lot of time. Like I said, it takes me, not doing this video where I stop and talk, about an hour to make a men's beanie. Usually it's an hour right on the money. So this video will go a little over an hour, but that's okay. I want to make sure I'm teaching you how to do this correctly. And I say it in every video, I love to read everyone's comments. So let me know what you think of this video, and if you do one of these yourself, don't be shy to take a picture and put it in the comments, and I would love to see what combinations of colors you came up with. I didn't think I was going to like this so much, but I just tried to choose colors that I thought were going to work in the video, and I actually really kind of like it. I'll tell you another combination that I have made these beanies with is black for the main color, and then where the yellow is here, I used a cameo color. I think it's actually called camo, red heart camo. I did that where the yellow is, and then I did an ecru where the blue is, and that is a really popular combination as well. Yeah, red heart camo, that is what it is called. So you can try that combination if you want to make these to try to sell them. Oh, it's the second time I had another color in here. Okay, I think we should be on our fifth and final round. 1, 2, 3, 4 of single crochets. Yep, so this will be our fifth round of single crochets. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to join to that first single crochet. We'll finish off this color, and again you should have your round of double crochets here followed by 5 rounds of single crochets. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll finish this off. We're done with that. We'll weave in our end here. Okay. Cut our ends, and we'll cut our ends, or I will cut my ends because I always incorporate them here. If you don't, go ahead and take this time to weave in your ends, but we don't want to see these strangling around here or getting forgotten about. Okay, and I should have one here. Yep. Now, and again, you can see how nicely that looks by doing that. And then you don't have to worry about finishing off one color, joining another color, and then creating a weakness in your hat. Okay, so now we're going to do a reverse single crochet. I always like to do the reverse single crochet of my beanie the same color as the single crochet that I do in the hat. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my blue. Now, to do a reverse single crochet, it's going to seem really foreign to you if you're not used to this stitch, but once you get the hang of this stitch, you're really going to learn to like it. I feel like it's a nice finishing touch to a lot of pieces. So we'll go ahead and we'll join our color here, and we're going to do a single crochet into your last single crochet. So you're going to join into your first single crochet. This is where you join, so you don't have to worry about that little stitch right there. This is your last single crochet of the round. So you're going to take your crochet hook, you're going to insert it into that last single crochet. You're going to bring up your loop and you're going to yarn over and you're going to draw through both those loops. Here we go. Okay, so just as a typical single crochet, you're going to go right into the next single crochet behind it, bring up that loop, yarn over and draw through both those loops. Okay, and that's how you do a reverse single crochet. Now, I find if you create just a little bit of tension, like you can see I'm grabbing my work here, my hat here with my ring finger and my pinky finger, and I'm just kind of pressing it against the palm of my hand. And I find that if you create just a little tension and stretch your work a little bit, it's a little easier to execute your reverse single crochet that way. It's just something I have found works for me. It may not necessarily work for you, but I do find if you stretch your material a little bit, it does help. So we'll go ahead and we'll do our reverse single crochets around. I think it just creates a nice finishing touch rather than just leaving your beanie, you know, with your round of regular single crochets here. My mother can't stand this stitch. She avoids it. At any cost, she will avoid it. Hopefully she doesn't watch this video because I just threw her under the bus a little bit. Sorry, Mom, but it's true. I'm not lying. There we go. And we're going to finish off by doing a reverse single crochet in that first stitch that we joined to. Now, when you finish this off, I find it best not to do a chain stitch here to finish it off. Just cut your yarn and pull it through that reverse single crochet. Okay, just cut it and pull it. Don't worry about doing a chain stitch right there. It creates too much of a bump, and then when you weave in your ends here, all you see is like this little bump here. It doesn't look good. So just finish it off through the stitch, and then I also just will give it a little tie here, like a little double knot, just to secure it where you're not doing the chain stitch at the very end. And then when you weave in the ends of your reverse single crochet, I always like to take one strand and weave it in one direction, and then take the other strand of yarn, weave it in the opposite direction. It lays a lot flatter that way. So we'll just go in this direction with this strand of yarn. There we go. I creamed my hands before I did this video because they've been so dry. Now I can't grab that tapestry needle too well. Okay, there we go. We'll just cut those ends. There you go. And now there you have your men's beanie. And again, let me know what you think of this video. I would love to hear from you. I love responding to comments. I love reading them. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the alert button, and that way you'll be alerted of other videos that I make in the future. I do try to do at least one video a month. I've actually been trying to do at least two videos in a month. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. And as always, happy crocheting. Bye-bye.